Won't let me correct a spelling mistake. Good luck getting me to pay. Reading another malicious compliance about phone companies reminded me of this. This was a good many years ago now. My husband's phone bill had a spelling mistake. Never really paid any attention to it. Never really caused any issues. Until it did, of course. The mistake was simple. Think Rod William instead of Rod Williams. Type simple. One day we moved states and put in for mail redirection. Now, where I am from, mail redirections have to be exact, so the bill never got forwarded. And in all that goes along with moving, it didn't even cross our minds that the bill hadn't arrived or been paid. And then inevitably the phone got cut off. Once we realized, we were all set to fix it up. Pay the bill. Change our address, etc. But no, can't be that simple. You see, to change the spelling mistake, we needed to provide proof of my husband's correct name. But for any name change, they need name change documents such as a wedding certificate or other official name change document, which he doesn't have as it is not a name change. Just a spelling mistake. For some reason, his license or passport was not good enough evidence. We ask what we can do to get this fixed up and they offer no help or resolution. Just stonewalling that there is no possible way to fix the incorrect spelling. Okay, cool. At this point we were cranky. Not going to help us with what should be a simple fix. We won't pay the bill, we told them. They respond with details of the contract and our obligations, debt collectors, etc. We simply replied, but who are you going to go after? They replied, you of course. My husband, looking comically confused, said, but my name is not Rod William and I am not going to pay his bill. Good luck finding him. If you happen to send me my own bill though, I would be happy to pay that. Shocked face and a look, spelling mistake gets corrected immediately. Now to the comments. Rule number 1 in problem solving, you have to make it their problem. Yep. Oh, your policy says you don't do that? Well then that sounds like you have a great big problem, don't you? I still enjoy the line from those fools over at Wall Street Bets, owe somebody $10,000. That's your problem. Owe somebody $10 million. That's the bank's problem. Funny how the impossible becomes possible when their money is at stake. Welcome to politics. That's when it's their donors' money. Government can't even be asked to do what's good for government. And, boom, the uncorrectable error is now corrected. Well done, MC. A friend of mine went to apply for a passport in Australian, provided proof of identity and so on, but it was rejected as the various documents she provided had her names spelt differently or her first name shortened or omitting her middle name, etc. Think Patsy instead of Patricia and so on. The advice from the passport people was to change her name by deed poll to the most common name on the various documents she used for ID to apply for the passport and apply for a name change to the other documents. Rather than dealing with the various government agencies and others involved to change it to a common name, she did change her name, collected the minimum ID required, reapplied for her passport and got it in a timely manner. I'm just marveling that a situation actually arose where the easiest way to resolve a paperwork snafu was to change her name to match the messed up paperwork. Legendary. A friend immigrated from Taiwan to Canada when she was a child with her family. In Canada, there was a typo with her father's birth date, and he used an English name instead of the direct phonetic transcription of his Chinese name. Decades later, he passed away, and my friend went back to Taiwan to have him declared dead and stop his old government pension. Because the name and birth date were different, the officials refused to accept the Canadian death certificate, though, and the Canadians refused to issue a certificate that didn't match their records. After weeks of going round and round, she said, so if he is still officially alive, then we don't have to stop his monthly pension payments. I am okay with that. The officials said, no, that would be illegal. So she said, so you want to break the law, then it's your choice. Just write me a statement with your decision. Suddenly the death certificate was fine. Just write me a statement with your decision. Amazing. How can you give that to me in writing? Is what finally gets people to check themselves. So true, had a similar situation with the bank. Me, I need you to close this special account. Them, sure, I'll need this ID, and a signed letter about X dated within 3 months. Me, geez, it was hard work getting all that together, but okay, here you go. Them, okay, it's done. Me, really? Just like that? Them, yes. Me, suspicious, could you give me that in writing that it's all done? Them, okay, here you go. 3 weeks later. Big bill. Me, you don't seem to have closed my account. Them, you didn't ask us to. Me, yes I did. Them, sorry, nothing we can do. You're gonna need to provide this ID, and this other letter signed within 3 months. Me, or I could just give you this, a signed letter stating you already did what you were supposed to do. Them, oh. We'll get back to you. Surprise, surprise, all sorted out. My home country once asked me to pay back a couple of thousand I owed for whatever reason. I had changed my name over a year ago, and informed every department, but the invoice was sent to my dad's address, that I've never lived at in my life, addressed to my previous name. When I got in touch with them about it, I didn't mention it was for an invoice, only that they'd sent the wrong name to the wrong address, etc. Well, they were not happy about having to update my details. They requested certified copies of everything, which nobody ever asks for, and wanted to see me in person with my passport too. I just told them you can either invoice me at my name and address, or I won't be able to pay you back, as that would be fraudulent as per my name change contract. I didn't hear anything back from them for another 2 days, until a corrected invoice appeared at my front door. Money talks. Hello, I'd like to help you. No, we want to make your life difficult. Okay, I won't help you. Shocked expression. I had almost the exact same issue. When I was 18 and graduated high school, a friend of mine and I decided to rent a house together. Now at the end of the lease we both decided we wanted to move to different places, so we're getting everything sorted. The water account for the house was in my name, so I went to the water department to get the account closed. I had my driver's license with me, that even had the address for the house still on it, but they wouldn't let me close the account because my SSN that I told them at the time of cancellation didn't match the one in their system. The name and everything else were correct, but not the SSN. I told them that whoever set up the account at the department must have typed it in wrong when I opened the account. They said that didn't matter and they would not close the account if I did not know the number, which I obviously didn't know. So, I said okay. Don't close it. But I'm moving, so I'm not going to pay it. They mentioned collections and credit and debt and all that. I laughed and told them they're going to be going after the wrong SSN holder, so it wasn't my problem. I promptly left. I have no idea if they ever closed. That was 12 years ago and it never affected me, so either they did close it or it affected somebody else, which would suck. Huh? When it comes to getting their money, they will always find a way to fix it. That's how we fix climate change. Figure out a way for it to get in the way of them getting money, then boom, it'll magically fix itself. That's why we need regulations that make it too expensive for the companies to keep doing what they're doing, instead of letting them get away with small fines that they can write off as the cost of doing business. I had this exact problem with my phone service provider. I pretty much did the same thing, but it was just after getting the phone. I told them thanks for the free brand new iPhone 12. Since you've chosen to bill my Cox and fare, and not my Cox and fare, you won't be able to bill me, as the bill payer name must match the contract name, or get me into court. The error was corrected inside 30 seconds. I wonder what would happen if you didn't do that. Simply let the mistake go, don't pay them, and bring the phone to a new provider to set up service. Probably wouldn't be that simple, but I like to imagine it. Not sure how it is other countries, but here you are required to point out mistakes. If you do, and it gets ignored, it's not your problem. Our invoices have to legally contain correct information, or you can refuse them. Great MC. Reminds me of time my friend Cheryl renewed her driver's license and the one they issued said male instead of female. She goes in person to tell them they made a mistake, but they required her to submit affidavits, etc. and all these documentary proof that she is female. Unbelievably stupid. I checked in a guest and said, did the DMV misspell the World Field? It was something Field Street. He sighed and said yes, but the DMV refused to correct it because the DMV was refusing to admit they made an error.